What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Hope you are well and blessed. How much salt do we need per day? It depends. The American Heart Association suggests 2,300 milligrams of salt per day. However, this is not for every ethnic group. Specifically, we as African Americans or people of African descent or Africans are individuals who need a suggested less amount, 1,500 milligrams per day. That's an 800 milligram difference. Now, a few caveats about that so you'll understand why. Why is that? Why do we as African Americans, people of African descent or Africans need less sodium? The reason why is because our ancestors come from environments that were arid and still are arid, that are hot, humid, etc. So through and via evolutionary biology, our genes adapted to where we hold on to sodium longer in order to have higher survival rates. As you understand, sodium is a major component of electrolytes. Without it, the heart does not pump effectively. If the heart is not pumping effectively, guess what happens? We don't live efficiently, if you get my drift. So being in arid climates, being hot, perspiring, our bodies have to be more efficient. So that means with less sodium, we can still have equal amounts of performance when you are comparing us to other ethnic groups based upon evolutionary biology. So if you take 2,500 milligrams of salt or sodium and you expose it to a person who is Caucasian versus a person who is of African descent, the person who is of African descent could potentially have higher impacts on blood pressure versus the individual who is Caucasian due to our genetic disposition. Now, this is a trick and something that we as Black people have to understand. The key is not just about how many milligrams of sodium you're getting. Yes, that's important, but the source of where that sodium is coming from. The sodium that is driving hypertension is going to be the sodium that is in packaged snacks, canned foods, frozen foods, TV dinners, etc. However, when you're getting your sodium sources and you're salting your own food and you're seasoning your own food with a high quality sea salt, Celtic salt, some type of naturally derived salt, the impact on the blood pressure is not going to be as it is with other aforementioned types of sodium. So that's something for we as African Americans to understand. We can't eat what our Caucasian brothers and sisters eat, okay? When you keep not just your sodium in check, but it's about the type of sodium that you're using. All right, pink Himalayan sea salt, Celtic sea salt, organic sea salt. You don't want the salt shaker. You don't want all the stuff that's in the pizzas and the pastas. That'll drive us to the ER quicker than anything else. And that's one of the major reasons why Black people have such a high occurrence of hypertension, which is connected to cardiovascular problems. All right, until next time, be well, be blessed. We'll see you on the next one. Salute.